Yep. All right. Once. No worries. Also an introduction there, and away we go. Charles, we're live? Cool. All right. Welcome to another hashtag Ask Jim. Massive training week. It's a record number. So real quickly before we proceed, Jim, how many people are in training today?
140 something.
140 something. So a lot of new people.
I think it's about an all-time record.
I think it's an all-time record too. So a lot of good people is there, a lot of questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw it to this gentleman over here, say your name and your division, and ask him anything you like and go for it.
G'day Jim, my name is and I'm from Mowing. The question I actually have is related to your book and your PhD research on epigenetics. In there that you say that your environment can switch certain genes on and off and you can turn the direction of society for the better.
Yes.
So in terms of what your definition of what society would look like or the direction it has to go in for the better, what environmental factors have to be changed or brought in your opinion?
It's a great question. Just real quick, if anyone who couldn't hear that, that was about Jim's research and epigenetics and things. So that's what the question was about.
What's the positive things in the environment? To a certain extent, not such prosperous times. Prosperity is a big problem for us. It changes our epigenetics, it changes the way our bodies function. But other things too, like the positive things that you can do to increase your health and happiness is things like strong family, spending time with people face to face, avoiding too much things like social media, avoiding competition, individualism, be part of a group, be part of a faith community or any sort of community. Spend time face to face with your friends and avoid stuff like obviously drugs, alcohol, tobacco, junk food, those kind of things. It's very similar to what's good for your physical health, it's good for your mental health and exercise too.
Right, okay.
So that's your good question, very good start.
Right. But the one social media you can use is the Jim's group one all the time. That's an exception one for that one there, Jim. But it's a great question though. Really
I'm actually coming out with a book. It's called The Baby Bust, which is talking about the collapsing birth rates around the world and why it's happening. It's a change in attitude and it's very destructive, not just to society, but it's also destructive to individual happiness. And when you've got this rising deaths of despair, it's happening all over the world. And that's part of this same process where people are becoming individualistic, selfish, self-indulgent. And we need to turn back against that.
Thanks for sharing.
So you can learn more about that. It's biohistory.org. And you can also follow Jim on social media. We do a lot of birth rate stuff coming up and all these sorts of things as well. So it's a really good, follow Jim's accounts and you can learn about that stuff online as well. So there we go. Good question to start with.
Great question.
Cool. Anyone got another question? Feel free to come up.
Who's next?
It's easy. Anyone gets a prize when they ask one.
Sure,
yep, just come up. Don't have to put your hand up. Go for it.
A lot of kids this week. It's been wonderful.
Been good, happy, yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful kids.
Hello, hi James. I'm Christine. We're from IT division. My daughter got a question for you.
Okay.
Why did you start gyms?
Why did you start gyms?
Well, because I needed to pay the rent. I was a student and I needed to finish up, need to make a living. I had to support a wife. So I thought mowing lawns would be a good way to make a living, which I was doing it part-time. So that's kind of how I started, and it just got a bit bigger than you might think.
Okay,
Very
thank
good
you.
question. Got another question? Or?
That's all.
Oh, that's all? Very good
That's
question.
all.
Very bravely done.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Not easy to do it. Awesome. Cool. All
You
right.
can come and get your prize afterwards, but not the beer, okay?
Age limit on that one. Got a question, guys? Feel free to come up. Just open for him.
Who's got
Ask him
that
anything
question?
you
I know
like.
we've got some good questions here. I talked to you before.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Khalid. I'm from Mowing division.
Good choice.
They're
all good choices.
Very good choice. I've got two questions. One's on behalf of my son.
Yep.
When I went home, I told him about your lecture on the first day, and I said, this great man said, every small idea makes a big idea and makes you a successful businessman. But he's thinking, he goes, please ask him, he's got one big idea that's going to make him a great, successful businessman. What is your thought about that to bring one big idea and make it a bigger business? How that's going to work?
You've got to have an idea of some kind, but tell him what makes the difference is thousands of tiny little things. It wasn't me deciding to franchise lawn mowing. It was me deciding to mow a lawn in a more effective manner, to do a cleaner and better job, to travel less distance, to employ people, to advertise differently. It's thousands and thousands of little decisions, and every day of my life I'm thinking the same question, how can I improve? That is the key. Lawn mowing, nothing special is there. Or dog wash, or carpet cleaning or IT or anything else. They're all just jobs, but if you do them well and you do them properly and you keep on improving, you can achieve extraordinary things in any division. I don't think the big idea is the thing. Jeff Bezos, the idea of selling books online. I mean, it's a good idea, but he wasn't the only one to think about it. But he did it better than anyone else. Or search. Larry Page and Sergey Brin just did it better than other people. That's the secret, and kept on improving.
Just to add on to that, his next question was, does education plays a key role to the success, or you just need to be there and have the mind and attitude?
Education is really, really crucially important up to about 8th grade, all right? You need to be able to read and write, and a little bit of basic arithmetic helps. I'd say for most purposes, past about that, unless you want to get into a job, that's basically it. But if you're running business for yourself, I don't know. You've heard Dan Cole today. You know, he's a guy who left school at the earliest possible, and he's now in his early 30s. He's really successful, one of our top franchisors in the country, and about to launch America. You don't need formal schooling to be successful. Now, if you've got it and you want to become a doctor or a lawyer or something, you've got to go to school. But to be in business, you don't need that. You just need that drive, entrepreneurial skill. And I reckon the sooner you start, the better. So if you've got something, I started gardening when I was 8 years old. And I've always done gardening or mowing or something like that. So it just almost never stopped.
All right, thank you.
And
Sorry to take too many questions. That's my question
No, but
now.
what grade's your son in school?
He's grade 9.
Well, so he should drop out now, according to I think you might just...
Well, tell him the time to start for him is now.
He wants to, but we're stopping him. We say no, education.
Okay,
Well, it does close a few doors if you're not finished school. But I'm saying if he's good at school and he can get through, that's fine. High school is not a bad thing to have, and for some professions it's good. But if he wants to be an entrepreneur, tell him to start now. I was talking to somebody else, I know that they're here. They were, when they started, they were doing something like selling, they were like 11 years old. There was, who was I talking to at lunchtime? But they had this small business when they were just really, really young. And it was they couldn't drive a car or anything. They just did something little, like you can make lemonade, you can do jobs for neighbours, you can sell stuff, you can do all kinds of things. Kids can start. I reckon it's great for kids to have a job or their own business when they're quite young, and get started as early as possible. That is a really good form of education. Now you can do the other stuff you want to, but let's face it, I've got a PhD in history. You know how much use that is to my business? Nothing. Nothing at all. No relevance. Valuable for what it taught me and the study I did, and I'm still working on it, but business-wise, no benefit at all. Same thing with my undergraduate years. Fundamentally, everything I need from education, I'd got by the time I was 14, all right?
Sure.
Hopefully he's not watching and stays in school, but we'll see what happens.
But stay in school, stay in school.
He will be watching this.
Oh.
Thank you for that. And this is my question. Since you're very successful, you've probably covered most of the fields and all aspects. My background is hospitality. Have you ever thought about going to do something with hospitality, like a franchise? I'll be the first one to put my hands up.
Well, this is hospitality, this place. This is something we started. My wife actually runs this, Foothills, and she does a pretty good job. It's not just hemisphere. We do all kinds of non-profits and religious groups and all kinds of communities and stuff like that. So that's a business of itself. So for sure. Now, as for a franchise, if you're talking about something like catering, that's possible if we had the right person put up their hand.
It was a division in the past. It went for a little bit, then went away.
We've tried different things. Look, the key to it is we could do a lot of different things. We've got 40 plus divisions. We could do 150 different divisions if we had the right leadership. And you never know, somebody in this training group this week, quite likely down the track a bit, may come back to us and say, hey, I'd like to do this. And if they're a good operator, well, same thing with you. You know what I look at, if you're interested, I'd say, okay, what are you making? I want to see a good income. And I don't, $3,000 a week is okay, but maybe $5,000 a week, $6,000 a week, a couple of employees. And I look at your rating, your survey rating. I'd like to see a 4.8, 4.9, ideally 5.0. Now, if you've got that kind of background and you come to me and say, Jim, I want to start Jim's Catering, I'd say, let's talk. This just happened fairly recently. Lance is one of
Lance
our...
is a party, yeah, from Mowing.
He's a Mowing franchisee, but a really good one. He's now in charge of Jim's driving school across the country. This just happened quite recently.
He was only in it for 18 months for gyms, and then...
Yeah, that's right. So often, laundry, for example. Who's here in laundry? That was started by someone from the cleaning division.
Bill, yeah.
Yeah, from Bill. Great guy, terrific divisional. Now got 120 franchisees, and that's in about 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So the opportunity is there. The thing we need more than anything is character. People with great character, with great work ethic, with great personal ethics, who cares about people they deal with. That's part of our culture, as you can know.
No worries, thank you. You'll
And
hear
what's-
from it in 12 months.
And real quickly, just because it can be done, because Lance did it in 18 months, so he came into training where you are, then in 18 months' time, he went from minus 5 grand in the bank, and he put this online, so I'll say it for him, went from minus 5 grand in the bank to having 150 grand in the bank, and then did a new division in 18 months. So, and that division's launched pretty well as well, so it can be done.
And it costs
Taught
quite
from.
little money too. You know, we don't even charge up front for launching. We just say, get on board, you pay some ongoing monthly fees. We want you to achieve 30 franchisees in 3 years. That's their goal. And once they do that, the division is theirs, and they can do whatever they like, grow it, sell it, whatever. It's theirs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe see him back in a year's time. 12 months. Very, very quick. Good question as well. And stay in school to your son, hopefully. I mean, stay in school. All right, who's got another question, guys? Come up and ask it. Go for it. Yep, just come up. Go for it. Feel free. Open mic for Jim. Go for it.
Feel free to come up.
Just ask him anytime.
When you're ready.
Don't worry about interrupting us.
Hi.
Good division, this one. I just had Jim's mobile tyres out like a week ago. Got Frank, my local guy, had another thing, and he came out. He was fantastic. Just rang me back, got the right tyre, came back, fixed it first thing in the morning. Great division. Anyway, question.
Yeah, my name's Christian. I'm from Jim's Mobile Tyres. Gentleman here just asked part of the question I was going to do, so I'll just rephrase it a bit differently. In the immediate future, do you have any specific franchise ideas that you're working on that you're looking to start? Well, what is like sort of next on your list?
New divisions, yeah.
Yeah, the things that we're most keen on, I'm personally most keen on, is the thing called Jim's Healthy.
Jim's?
Jim's Healthy, which is frozen packaged food. I am a terrible cook. My wife is brilliant. I'm terrible. And I like to eat really healthy because I want to live to be at least 90 something. I've got a lot to do in the next 20 years. So we're starting a division where we're getting food which is at least a 4.5 rating and 2.5 serves of vegetables in every pack, which means you can eat this stuff and you can really, really be healthy. It's got all the nutrition, everything right. That's my passion project right now, and hopefully that'll be going in the next couple of months.
Well, there's another new division that's sort of linked to it starting in March as well.
Sorry?
There's another new division that's starting in March that's linked to it as well. Personal training.
Personal training.
Yeah. There you go.
We love. I'm fanatical about health. I'm 72. Love great life, and so much of that is the right living way, the right exercise, it's diet, it's personal relationships, it's involvement in the community, it's having a sense of purpose. I'm really, really keen on that kind of thing because I don't know. Look, it's great. We've created more millionaires, I reckon, than any other company in this country, and I'm proud of that. And there's people like Dan is great too, but the most important thing isn't how much money you've got, it's what your life is like. And some people can be rich and they can be incredibly miserable, especially when they spend their whole life just I'm going to have a bigger car than you, and I'm going to have a better house than you, and better clothes than you, and a more expensive holiday. And this kind of garbage, this competition for status, is a really toxic thing. It's bad for society, it's bad for individuals. I'm really passionate about physical and mental health, letting people live the best possible lives. And the thing I'm most proud of with my franchisees is there's a new book coming out, the new version of the book is called No Other Success, and it starts with an anecdote about a guy who took a mowing franchise because he wanted to see his son grow up. And that was 10 years ago, and he's seen his son every day, and he can have breakfast with him, that kind of thing. That kind of family stuff is what's most important to me. It's great if you can become rich, and we're not against it. We'll encourage it, and we'll help you with it. But the main thing, have you got a great life? Have you got a great family? Have you got a great marriage? Are you a good parent to your children? Are you a good child to your older parents? These things matter. Are you a good member of the community? Are you active? Are you doing something worthwhile with your life? To me, that's the biggest goal. And I probably wandered way off the topic, haven't I?
Yeah, it's about new divisions we're launching.
New divisions!
So I've got a bit of a follow-on question, because my mind was blown when I realised kind of the different divisions that there are. I
Yep.
never realized that. And I thought it would be good to get sort of an A4 sticker that you could put on the side of your van or something that just shows all the divisions.
It always changes.
It would
that'd be the
probably,
thing.
it
We
would
have
probably
to-
have to change
yeah.
quite frequently,
would,
but
yeah.
I mean,
We've got a banner done in the room, and you look at that thing, and that's out of date.
Well, you know, just tomorrow we've got interviews by Zoom with 2 potential new divisions. Just tomorrow,
yeah.
and that's not even the first ones this week.
And they come via TikTok as well, which is a new channel for that, which I
Yeah,
find
they do.
interesting. Yeah,
What are we looking at? We're looking at, we've got concrete polishing,
Yes,
we've got something about
waterproofing.
air conditioning,
Cleaning.
cleaning.
Duct cleaning guy, yeah.
That's coming up,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what the other one was. But this is just now, all the time. Now, most of them don't go through. There's a process that you have to talk to a person, they understand what you need to do. It's a tough process. They need to come to the training before they get anywhere, unless they're already franchisees. But we've got new ideas coming up all the time. What we need is great people, honestly. Character is everything. Experience, everything else is secondary. Qualifications I don't care about, I care about character. And that's why it's so great to recruit from within Jim's group. Because out of 5,500 people, you've got amazing people in that group. We've got so much potential. We just want to help them to bring it out.
There you go.
Thank you.
But we do a lot of videos where we test staff to name all the divisions in gym as well. I say, name as many divisions as you can in 60 seconds.
I don't do very well.
No, you're probably stuck 15, 20, so we don't even know sometimes. But our most viewed web page is actually the gyms.net/services. So where people can actually see all the different links to the different divisions. So that's one of our most trafficked web pages.
This is on this Monopoly. That's where we put them. I actually designed this Monopoly board myself. It plays like normal Monopoly, but it's got all the gym's divisions instead of like, it's got like, that's mowing, that's pest control, cleanings around like the stations and stuff. So it's a really fun version, but that's just some of our divisions, the biggest ones actually at that time.
You wrote all the cards as well, so the community chest.
I wrote all the cards and stuff, yeah, those are all the divisions. It's fun, it's great. But in a sense, having a lot of divisions isn't what we really want. What we want is successful divisions.
Yeah.
A division that's only got 1 or 2 people is a bit of an embarrassment until it works. What we'd like to see, if you notice in the hall in there, you have those posters on the wall.
Yeah.
Now you might recognise it, but there's a way of getting your poster on the wall. You've got to have at least 50 franchisees in the division. You get 1 poster. You get 100, you get 2, you get 200, you get 3. Once you get 1,000, you get 4. That's pretty hard. So that's what, when you're starting to do, that's what you're aiming for. And then we have a ceremony to put up the poster when they hit the target.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you.
Very good question. Thanks for that one as well.
Okay, at the back there.
Go for it.
Come through.
Anyone can come up and ask Jim anything you like.
Hi Jim, my name is Mohammed and I am the division of car detailing. I never been to business before. This is my first time ever. I'm going to start my own business. So I know there are heaps of advices that you can give me, but I want to know what is the one best advice that you can give me for my business to be successful.
Every day, try and do better. Learn every day something that you can improve on. You don't have to be brilliant. You don't have to start with a lot of money. You don't have to have experience. What you need is the attitude that says, I'm ready to learn. And you learn from everything. You learn from your customers. You learn from experience. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from your franchisor. You learn from other franchisees. You learn by coming to meetings. You learn by, I read probably on average or listen to about 2 books a week, as well as reading other stuff too. So you've got to be constantly learning and listening, and all things are coming through. That is the one most important thing. And be passionate about your customers. Not just, I'll give good customer service because that's what I need to make money, but good customer service because it's my integrity at stake. To do a perfect job, do the best job, to have an amazed look on the client's face. That's what you really want to go for. And it's an emotional thing. It's not rational, it's from the heart.
Thank you so much.
There you go, good question. And Jim's book as well, which is he's speaking about that, is an audio book which you can get for free on gyms.net as well, if you want to listen to Jim's book as an audio book too. Yeah.
Hi Jim, I'm Dinut from Mowing. I have 2-part question. First is, are you planning to go to USA again, the franchise?
Good question.
Dan Carl is looking at starting in Florida next
This year.
later this year.
Yep.
Yeah, so he has a plan for that, and Dan's a great guy. If he can make it work, anybody can. We've learned a lot from mistakes in the past. We did have a go at Texas a decade ago, and that didn't work out too well. But I get anything else, it's who's leading it. Dan is a force of nature. He is just someone quite extraordinary, and we're very confident, and we know a lot of what to do now.
And the next question is, what's your vision for your life, and when did you get it?
My mission for my life, main mission, has to do with this. It's my research project that I did my PhD in. It's come up with a way of thinking about society and about what's gone wrong with the world, which is basically biological. And all the things that are going wrong, what we need to fix. And that has always been my major mission. And after that, my family. I got 10 kids, my wife, my family. That's a mission. And that's a mission for all of us. Any of us who are parents, that's part of our mission in life. And my mission is my franchisees too. So that's probably three-part in a way, isn't it? But emotionally speaking, those are the things that drive me. When I get up in the morning, why I want to work, why I want to do anything. I find the whole day is very difficult because I'm very focused. I want to achieve certain things. And all those matter to me a lot.
Thank
Good
you.
question. Thanks.
Find your mission. Find your mission. That's the thing. What's important to you? Hopefully your family always should be in there.
Yeah.
But even just doing your work well, delighting customers, that's a sense of mission, that's a sense of purpose. You know, during the lockdown, one of the problems we had is that a lot of people I know people who are sort of, you know, big elite professionals, they look down their nose, but when you're doing something like a home service, you have a real function in life. You're helping your clients to live a better life. Quite often elderly clients, for example, really appreciate our visit and the way we make their lives easier. There's purpose in what we do, and there should be a purpose. Not just making money, but doing something worthwhile, making the world a better place.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love what you said about the older customers. That's quite often the case when I hear the mowing franchisees. Like, that lady might be the only person they see for the week, and they enjoy the visit, and that happens a lot. And our mowing guys will take a lot of time to have a chat with them and stuff as well, and that might be the only person they see for the week. So it happens quite often.
It's very sad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, come up, go for it.
Hi Jim, I'm Chad Trent. I'm in the division of mobile tyres up in New South Wales. My question is, climbing into something that's very new, something that's very, I think, can be challenging in the beginning. I would like to know what the biggest pitfalls that I might come across that I could try and steer away from.
Biggest pitfall for a new franchisee?
Yeah,
Biggest pitfall?
being new to me and all.
Not listening, okay? Not listening to what people advise you to do. And I see that often. The people who fail tend to be the ones not who are lazy or dumb or anything else, people who don't want to listen. They get advice. I had one particular cleaning franchisee who was complaining about the business wasn't working well. And I looked up the notes before I spoke to him, which I normally do, and I found out that the franchisor was giving him specific advice about what to do. The franchisor been in business like 15 years, hugely successful. This guy was ignoring them.
Yeah.
Said, no, that won't work, I need to do this. I said the same thing. I said, your franchisor was correct, listen to them, do that. And he said, no, Jim, you're wrong. I'm going to do this because this is not the right way to do things. And here's a guy who's failing in business, he's just got a business, who is rejecting his franchisor, 15 years experience, rejecting me with goodness knows half a century of experience. That guy is headed for failure because he just won't listen. So that's a huge thing. And it's the same thing about improvement, doing better. Looking at yourself, what can I do? How can I improve? Don't blame other people. What can I do to improve? And another issue too, this is real, is discouragement.
Yeah.
People get down about things. Something goes wrong, they get discouraged, they lose heart. So it's really, really important to be part of a community. And that's something we do quite well. So you've got your franchisor. It's the frequent contact that matters, not the once a year.
Yeah.
You know, look at your business rationally, but every week initially you should be talking to your franchisor, talking through the issues, the problems, and then going to meetings and learning from the others and making friendships with them and ringing them. And you'll find that experienced ones are going to help you with that.
Yep.
That process, it's all together. Learning, listening, community. These are the things that matter.
Yep. Thank you very much.
And you're joining Mobile Tyres, eh?
Yep.
Mobile Tyres, so there's a couple, get together and...
I think there's 3 of us.
Yeah, 3 of you, so that's a great network to form right here because you've got to be starting at the same point.
I love it actually. Yeah. Frank's a great guy. It was he's just great. When you contact him, I just ring him direct now because I've used him before. But I'm driving an electric car. It seems to be very hard on tyres. It's good business for Frank.
And a lot more useful than lawyers, aren't they, as well, Jim, Mobile Tyres?
Yes, well, all right.
Thank you.
Good question. We've got another question, guys. Feel free to come up and ask you anything you like at all. Personal, business, health, life, whatever.
G'day, Jim. It's my name's Sanjay. I'm just joined with the cleaning division. My question is in relation to how do you see like gyms evolve over the next 5 to 10 years, especially with all these technology changes? Like we've had a lot of, macro and micro kind of factors.
Is all the AI question and stuff?
Sorry?
Was that the question on here about AI and things like that as well?
That was, and
yes.
that
Robots,
was me.
technology, yep.
And technology, yep.
We think our business is one of the ones that's least likely to be made redundant by technology. Services will not be affected. You're not going to have robots cleaning houses anytime soon. All right? They've had these little robot rumba things that drive around and do it, but they're really not substitute for what you guys do, are they? Yeah. So the difference is the technology that we're using to help our franchisees to do better. Just some of the things I talked to you about, I mentioned that too, but we've got this software, Jim's Jobs, which you're being taught about this week. By the end of the year, we should have a system that allow clients to book jobs directly into to quote directly into your phone. So instead of a client ringing up and saying, get a phone back, you'll be able to go directly in and they'll go to the phone and they'll arrange an appointment, depending on how much time you've got and where you're going to be. That's one of the key aims. We'll have systems that make it really, really, that'll remind you if you don't ring clients back, and we'll get notifications to us, so it will really remind you to let clients know. And then if you can't get through, to send them a text and do things like confirm appointments with a text. Now, these kinds of, and there's a lot more involved in it too, these kinds of technologies, if they can reduce our complaint rate by half, say, and I believe they can do at least that, you'll see an absolute boom in earnings, in leads.
Yep.
Because great customer service is what drives our success as a group and as individuals. If we can make your life, your business to run better with fewer upset clients and more happy clients, and you make more money, then we'll boom. So technology is actually, we're investing millions of dollars a year on software development, far more than what you're going to pay in your technology fee, way beyond that. But we invest really heavily in technology, and it's going to be booming. And we can do things that nobody else in the world can do because of the way we look at things.
Yeah. And just on my second part of the question is, where do you think we'll probably be sitting in the next maybe 5-ish years? I know it's hard to predict the future, but like, what are your like medium to long term goals with the gyms?
Okay, I've got 2 goals.
Yep.
One major, one important.
Mm-hmm.
My first goal is that every single one of my franchisees is happy with their business and their income. Okay? And my second goal is that every client is happy with the service we're giving them. All right? Those are my goals, not numbers. Be great to have 6,000 franchisees. I don't care if we never achieve that. What I care about is, do we get better at what we do? Can you, my franchisees, can we look after you better? Can we be satisfied? What are we doing? What can we do? We discuss this every day of the week. We are obsessional about this thing. How can we make franchisees happier? What more can we do? How can we improve the software? How can we improve our systems? How can we improve the way we take calls? What are we going to do? We're discussing it all the time. Just this last week, to give you an example, okay? One of the issues we have is jobs that are booked online are not as good as jobs that are coming through the call centre. They don't convert as well. So we're discussing ways in which we can actually play around with it, try different things, get customers to confirm their address, for example, or send them a certain kind of message, or if the franchisees wish us to do it, send them a link so they can look at the surveys, because most of the franchisees got very good surveys. So we're going to start doing different things to actually mean that those leads that are coming in that aren't converting all that well can get through it a lot better. And of course, being able to book jobs straight into somebody's diary will massively increase conversion rate. Now, I just give that an example because this has been just in the past few days, we've been discussing this heavily. That's the kind of thing that we do. That is the overwhelming focus. I would not be unhappy if we never achieved more franchisees than we've got now, but I would love to see the franchisees that I have doing really, really well. I do not have monetary goals, I never have had. We've never looked at that as the main thing. Our first priority is the welfare of franchisees. We are passionate about customer service. We sign only franchisees and franchisors we are convinced will succeed. Nothing about numbers, nothing about profitability. It's all about service.
Perfect. Thank
Good
you.
Question.
Good question.
Appreciate it as well. If we've got a question, guys, feel free to come up and ask Jim. We've got a bit of time, we've got plenty of time, so feel free.
I know some people have got some good questions.
Yeah. No, very well done. I've got some online too, which I'll get to the people online who are leaving them as well.
Hey Jim, I'm Jared. I'm starting up at Jim's Mowing.
You look like a mowing guy. You got the beard.
I do, thank you. It definitely needs a little bit of tidy, but one of my main questions is, starting off as a franchisee, what does my road look like ahead to be a franchisor?
Well, franchisor is very visible. One thing to bear in mind is that most of the top earners in gyms are not actually franchisors at all. They're franchisees. So we want to help and encourage you on that road, and that's a really easy one. Because you start off and there's videos and there's people you can talk to and there's counselling, there's all kinds of things. We sometimes have seminars, all kinds of stuff to help you to do that, to put people on. If you do want to become a franchisor, one of the things we look for is how good are you running your own business? Are you making good money? And are you servicing people? That's why when Dan was turning over close to $1 million a year with a 5.0 rating, that's what made me look at him and say, wow, this is a guy I want to go into business with. So be good at what you do. Now, as far as becoming a franchisor is concerned, it's difficult for something like mowing, because mowing franchisors are great businesses and they don't often come on the market, to be pretty blunt. So they also cost a lot of money. You can be spending $1 million to buy the business. Where your biggest opportunity for being a franchisor is what we were talking about before, is the new divisions. So if you get on the ground floor of a new division, either starting it yourself or working with somebody like driving school that's just started up, that's where you can go into business with very little cost or enterprise, and it's up to you. So you may have an idea. You may have a relationship with somebody who has an idea. You might have all kinds of things. We like to recruit from within. So here's your goal.
What prompted you to want to be a franchisor? What interested in that?
I started off in supermarkets, and the main way was just work your way up.
Yeah.
So thinking that franchisor would be your next step up.
For sure.
It's a lot easier with us.
Yeah.
Because you can do it yourself. Honestly, you don't need any permission. If you're working in a supermarket, you've got to please your superiors.
Yeah.
If you're a franchisee, all you got to do is please your clients.
Yep.
And once you've done that, you get a better business yourself, and then the franchisor role is open. But if you come to me down the track a bit and say, I want to be a franchisor, the first thing I'm going to do is to check your star rating, and the second thing I'm going to ask you about your business. What's your turnover? Who's employed? The whole bit.
Yep.
Show your ability, and that's all about learning.
Yeah.
How do you learn? Reading, coming to meetings, talk to your franchisor, talk to other franchisees, read the stuff, watch the videos, just learn and educate yourself on how to do it better. And you just constantly learn. It's not the one big thing. It's not one idea. It's thousands of little tiny steps every day. And you should be out there when you're mowing lawns thinking, how can I do this job quicker? How can I cut off a minute? How can I save that little time going around a tree? The little tiny distance. How can I save travel between distance? How can I work out how to get better value to clients? What extras can I do? How do I approach clients better? Just trying different things, multiple experiments. And that attitude is what counts. It's not education, it's not experience, it's not brains, it's nothing. It's just that attitude, obsessive. And I'd love to talk to you down the track of it. You've got my email, jim@jims.net. You've also got my phone number. I'm not going to say that.
You don't say that one, do you?
Nobody gets that, but you've got it, haven't you?
Still got it.
So once you get to the stage you want to do it, you contact me straight away, and I'll be back to you like that, and we'll talk.
And you can also see all the regions that we have for sale actually on our website as well. So if you go to gyms.net, under franchise for sale, there's the regions for sale, and you'll see that there's different ones like mobile tyres and different divisions and all these things as well. So they're ones that are on the market at the moment too. So, but as Jim said, the mowing ones, you need to be fairly successful.
You need very deep pockets.
Yeah.
Jim's Fishing Tours would be the
Jim's
best
Fishing Tours is a division.
Is it?
I don't know. So you want to do it as a division?
Should be.
It'd be difficult for us to do because it's different from anything we do normally. We tend to service businesses tend to work the best for us. Business where you go out and do work for somebody. Yeah. That's kind of our thing.
My next question also would be, today in the meetings there was a photo of you on the lawnmower with your crown and your cape on. Did you actually do that, or was it Photoshop?
No, that was me.
That was him. That was in the Herald Sun, that one. So yeah, that was for the.
We did.
You can talk about it. Yeah.
We do every year. We do an April Fool's gag. This last one was I was going to become Premier of Victoria, and it's about housing and stuff like that, because I'm really, really dark on the way that zoning makes housing and rents unaffordable. So, which actually, the funny thing about it is when we go on social media, we do these joke ones, and sometimes people take them seriously, and sometimes you get an idea that
Yeah, well, the Gymland one was one. So do you want to,
We had an amazing response to that because zoning regulations are evil. They really are. I mean, I got kids who are trying to buy houses. Now, they got a rich father and I helped them. But goodness gracious, you shouldn't need to have a father who's a millionaire to be able to afford to buy a house. So that's a terrible issue, and it's because zoning regulations are so stupid. Now, we did an April Fool's gag about that, which we've made it quite clear it was a gag. But, you know, the response we got was amazing. I mean, look, I get a lot of negative stuff I post from time to time. I'm very anti-woke, for example. Even though some people I love most of the world are completely woke, like my daughters, some of them. But we normally get a barrage of negativity. But with this particular issue, it was like 96% positive. I have no idea what Joel just told me, so I don't know.
that was the premier one, but the one I think you're referring to, we showed the Gymland picture today. So when there was one where Jim succeeded from Victoria and said, I'm going to do Principality, I'm getting rid of Daniel, I'm going away from Daniel Ames, Victoria, and I'm joining Tasmania or something like that, and that was the Gymland. We dressed him up as a whole king and stuff, and then the papers fell for it and all that sort of stuff as well. So he's in the Age, he's in the Herald Sun.
They took it seriously.
There was a cartoon of him, King Jim, on a big statue of Daniel Andrews down there, and Mark Knight, all these things. We were trending number one on Twitter for like one day of Jim's mowing, and we had, as you can imagine, all the Labor politicians were just going negative berserk. So it was going.
Well, they believed it. I mean, how could you possibly think that this site here, which is 8 hectares, can succeed with the Commonwealth of Australia? You have to be nongs to believe that kind of stuff.
It's a pretty well done video, and they felt.
People said, "Oh yes, it was," and me and the Crown, and we did a press conference and all the rest of it.
We were giving away citizenships as well, which people can buy.
Oh, yeah, we had a ceremony. I knighted people. We had a ceremonial banquet with a big table and stuff, and I was the knighthood. And they had somebody coming in full armour.
We had a guy called Spotto, who's a big guy on TikTok. He actually flew over from Perth and hired a knight. I don't know why he was doing it, but for his social media stuff, he's got like 1 million followers, and he came over.
And we're still selling citizenships for Gymland. You can become a citizen of Gymland for $20. Okay, it all goes to men's sheds, which is our favourite cause, but. It's all fun, but it's serious too.
It's very weird, like it's listed on the Micronation Wikipedia now, and people from America want this citizenship, and Jim will sign all them all. So
yeah, we have from America.
It's quite interesting. Yeah,
we had our own stamps.
We did have our own stamps. We actually did have our own stamps, that's true.
Which are actually, you can use them, they're legal tender. You can actually post a letter with a Jim stamp.
If you want to do that. If you want to lick Jim's head, you can do that by all means.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I recommend watching the video on YouTube. Type in Gymland, one word to YouTube. It's quite fun. Come up and ask a question. Go for it.
Come through. I know I've got a lot of good questions here because you all told me beforehand. You all had great questions.
Yeah, hi Jim. My name is Katherine. I'm from Cleaning Group. You said you can ask any question.
I did.
This is where I'm here. I know that you, Jim, franchisors and franchisee, we complement each other to make the big gym growing and new sections are coming up.
Yep.
Some people are coming or buying the how do you call it, the business. It is their first time like to experience it.
Most people actually.
Yeah, and I know that you are putting a lot of support, like the training, the bookkeeping, everything. But we won't know everything at the same time. Nope. My question is like, if we get messed up somewhere, especially on the legal stuff, how far are you like ready to support us legally to get us out of the mess, especially if we do something unknowingly or without us knowing that we are committing something.
Okay, so if you go and rob a bank, for example, you're asking, are we going to actually support you? It depends.
It sounds like you're already planning some sort of crime or something.
Yeah. No.
I don't know what's going on here.
I'm not.
Just don't do it in a gym shirt.
No.
That's right. If you're going to rob a bank, you do not use any aspect of our IP while you're doing it. It's very bad because they'll catch you on the.
Next year, take a gym star.
No, I will put even the mustache. Yeah.
I don't think you should worry too much about that. We'll give you advice on anything that happens. You've got access to a whole lot of really good advice. Your franchisor can help you. Someone for national office like myself can help you. We have a legal department which can give free advice. Not legal advice to you, but we'll tell you what to do about the whole thing. and we'll show you what to do. We very rarely get into such problems, I can tell you. I can't even imagine what you have in mind that you intend to do. It worries me a bit.
No, the problem is like because I'm new in the thing, and everything, like when you are doing something, oh no, don't do this, oh it's illegal to do that.
Okay.
Even it's illegal to take a lead, I think, from a different area or a different region. That is why I'm so cautious about that.
Oh, so you're talking about breaking our contracts?
Right.
Anything like that, but without you knowing that you are doing the wrong thing.
Okay, let me tell you, if you inadvertently break the contract, we will not, as the first step, initially put you in jail, all right? We will simply advise you, please don't, Katherine, don't do that in future, because if you persist, we may get a little bit tougher. If you were doing things like promoting yourself, going on knocking on doors in someone else's territory, but that's not too difficult to do. Look, our system isn't very draconian except on issues of customer service, honestly speaking. Now, the one crime you've really got to avoid is letting customers down. And again, it's not punishable by anything extreme, but we will certainly talk to you about and coach you. That is the kind of issues. If you get a lead, you ring the client back. If you can't get through, you text them. If you're going to be late, you let a client know. You phone them, you text them. These are the kind of things you've got to be concerned about. Other stuff's pretty arcane. You don't like to come across it. And honestly, you've got a coach. Your franchisor will be talking to you all the time, especially initially. So you'll get a lot of advice, and I'm available. I'm very easy to contact. You might find that strange, but I'm remarkably, you send me an email, I'll usually respond within 2 or 3 hours. I clear my email box several times a day, so I can always help you with stuff. So questions about the contract, anything at all. Even things you don't want your franchisor to know about. Sometimes people approach me for advice, is what my franchisor doing right? So I can give them confidential advice on that kind of issue. And usually the franchisor has not done anything wrong, but sometimes they have made a mistake, and I can tell you that. And then I can do something about it to help you out. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it, anything except letting customers down. That's the one thing that you're going to have trouble. If you keep on doing that, you can be in big, bad trouble eventually.
Definitely.
But no bank robbing.
No bank, and not letting you down, and not letting the how they call it, the customer down.
And if you come to me down the track a bit,
No.
I've got an idea of a new
A promise from me.
It's Jim's Bank Robbers. I'm going to actually say no, there are problems with it, all right?
Thank you.
Well, if you do get in trouble, we know who you're going to call first is this man here. You've got his mobile number now. But I was going to say, with Cleaning Group, for legal regulations and stuff, Cleaning Group, the head office guys, they're always with employed, because that's a big one now, isn't it? Like employing staff and making sure they're paid properly and stuff. So our legal team will actually always advise the divisional franchisors. So Ali and Hayder in your division, for example, and it's their job to make sure everyone in the division is complying with everything as well. So there's a bit of an onus on the divisional franchisor. They get all the learnings from legal and stuff, and then they'll tell you guys about paying, how to pay people and all that sort of stuff as well. So
that's important. That's probably one area.
Yeah.
If you're growing your business to a substantial degree, then you will have to understand about employment law and following your obligations, because we're quite strong in that sort of stuff. You pay people properly, you pay the super or whatever else is done, but we can show you how to do that. There's people that are in the organisation. You've got access to a vast array of advice and tell everything, your franchisor, your division, national office, legal, all kinds of things. We're all here to give you advice.
Yeah.
Or you can ask ChatGPT. That's just as good. It'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Good question. And I hope you don't get in trouble, please.
No.
I'll remember this one.
But we want to prevent that. That is why I'm asking you for that.
No, it's a great question. Great question. Come up and ask you a question. That's a good one. It's a hard one to top. It's very hard to top.
Hi, Jim.
Go for it.
My name is Felix. I'm with the Diggers.
That's a good job, Diggers. I got one of those things once. It was really fun.
I got
makes you feel very, very big and powerful, doesn't it? Well, not big and powerful as you, but still.
I wish I was that powerful. But I've got maybe 2 questions. First of all is, do you ever get calls or leads to do some people's loans still, or
Jim directly get give me a quote request.
Are you off the tools? Are you off the tools?
Are you off the tools? Are you off the tools? That's a good question. Are you off the tools?
Actually, well, you know what my hobby is? It's gardening.
Right.
Every weekend I go up to my little farm up in the bush there, and I've got to actually mow the lawns around the house. And I've got this push mower. It's not even powered. I just push it like that, one of the old-fashioned ones, like I used to do when I was a kid to mow the family lawn. and I do gardening. I'm growing vegetables. I've got zucchini. I've got silver beet. Got potatoes. Got tomatoes coming through. I've got a few berry bushes and things. I've got gooseberries are coming off well. My wife can cook a meal for us, which is mainly stuffed products just from my own garden. So I don't know if that's what you mean by being on the tools, but I love gardening, you see. It's a great job. I really do. It's very therapeutic to gardening. Isn't that great?
Well, because why I ask that is some business people or successful business people, millionaires, once they made the money, they're just corporate. But so I was just trying to find out whether it's
Well, I don't go out and mow lawns for money these days, put it that way. I'll probably go a little bit...
I think for charity, though. We've done it before for charity, though.
I have done it for charity.
Just for fun and charity, yeah? My second question is that since we got 10, you got 10 children, is there room for another one? So that we can start a soccer team.
You need 11, yeah.
Gym soccer team. I'm free for adoption.
I quite frequently
he wants to be adoptable.
I quite frequently get given offers that they'd like to be adopt people. That comes up. But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When you sign that contract, you become part of my adopted family. You're a franchisee. You're part of our family. You're part of our tribe, aren't you?
Cool.
That's why you can ring me on Christmas Day if you want. Well, not everybody, but still, I don't mind it because you are my family in a way, and that's how I feel about it. I often say things like, I can have a week where I've suddenly got an unexpected $2 million tax bill, which is a bit of a shock, and then I talk to a franchisee who's failing. You know what upsets me the most? Yeah, money says money. I hate my people failing because that is like a family thing, isn't it? And hopefully you will feel that way about your own team, that you will go to meetings, and I want you to go to meetings and get to know people and feel part of a tribe, and you help each other. And when you go there, you'll find other franchisees giving you advice. I'm confident they'll do this, and they'll talk to you, and they'll chat to you, and they'll talk to you at half an hour on the phone at night, telling you what to do. And down the track a bit, you'll do the same thing yourself. The new people will come in, and they'll be uncertain, and you'll be helping them, and you'll be their mentor to them. I hear these stories all the time. It is like a family, isn't it? Yeah. And we are too isolated and too individual and too cut off as a people. That's a really bad thing.
Sure.
That's why we love the whole system of franchising and the community support, and why we support men's sheds. It's the same kind of thing. People working together and talking together and sharing. And that's like a family, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying we're as important as your own. You've got kids?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Your own kids are going to be top priority, obviously.
Yes.
But we are a kind of extended family beyond that.
Yes.
But personally adopting you, I think you're probably a little bit too old.
You're never too old. You're never too old. Thank you.
Good question. We do have a few gym soccer teams actually online and stuff, and gym's basketball teams and things, so yeah, go for it.
G'day Jim, my name's Glenn. I'm from Mowing. I'm going to be up in Bendigo. I've got two questions. I'll do the important one first. Who do you barrack for in the footy, if you follow? You don't? All good?
Not a footy.
No interest in sports whatsoever.
No, I'm sorry, I don't. I like to play. I like to play squash. I like to run. I'm not following a team. Sorry.
All good. Yeah. So the other question, as a child, who did you look up to the most, or who was your mentor?
Good question.
Well, my father, obviously, I suppose. I mean, we didn't always get on very well, but he was my model of what a person should be. I remember he was sitting in his office, reading Time magazine. I mean, that kind of thing. You learn from your parents. And we used to fight a lot too. And one time they wouldn't speak to him for 6 months. We clashed. But yeah, as much as anybody. Yeah. My dad. And my mother. Yeah, I was close to my mother. I was always, very close to her. Even in the last years, I see both my parents every week at least while they were alive. And my mother, even she got dementia towards the end, which is really sad. But they were terrific people, and I owe them so much.
Yeah. But your mum was an adventurer, even up. My mum used to skydiving out of the thing and everything.
Yeah, she was. She hitchhiked. She hitchhiked around the world. She hitchhiked across Canada. She hitchhiked up through the Arctic Circle. This is a woman in her 70s. She was a very adventurous lady. She was actually one of the first people to go overseas after the war. She was a teacher during the war, and she went overseas, which was unheard of in those days. This is back in the late 1940s. That's where she met my father. at a youth hospital in Wales. So she was a remarkable lady.
Thank you for that.
Very good question.
She wrote a book about me. It's called David, because my middle name is David. It's called David and the Dinosaurs.
There you go. So you don't go for any footy team, so we always get asked that one about what team you support.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a lot of interest, but football is not one of them. I'm sorry.
Definitely not. Got a question, guys? Feel free to come up and ask. We've got time for a couple more. Ask anything you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Jim. My name is Kriti. I'm from Adelaide, from Jim's cleaning department. My question to you is, when you started in the beginning, well, now you are big, you have employees who work for you, and so when you started in the beginning, you obviously had a dream to be big one day. Maybe not this big, but you always wanted to be big and better. So did you ever struggle, like when you were always, every day you were wanting to be better, when you said that? So did you ever struggle, like me, sometimes I struggle, like when I'm working, I just focus so much into work, and I forget like what's happening in my life and personal things and all that. So did you ever struggle to balance that? And sometimes when I'm out with my friends or all that, I feel like, oh, I'm wasting my time. I could have done like something different about my work. I could have done more into that. So did you ever struggle about that within your lifetime to be where you are now?
Not really, no. I've never felt that work was everything. I always thought that other things mattered more. Family, my research work, my church, those kinds of things. I've never had any problems with putting them in the proper perspective. Now, I'm not a great husband. Obviously, I had 3 women couldn't stand to live with me and got divorced, but very happily married for 23 years to Lee, who's wonderful, and he puts up with me. So I'm not the easiest person in the world, but I've never had the wrong set of priorities. I just don't believe. There's a saying that goes, it's actually the new book is called No Other Success, and it's short for No Other Success Can Compensate for Failure in the Home. And I absolutely believe that. I always believe that. It doesn't matter being successful, having money. I needed to fund my research institute. That was always a major goal, but I never ever would let that get away of seeing my kids, for example. So don't get your priorities wrong. You can actually have a great business, and in fact you'll do better, to my mind, if you look after the things that matters, like your family. You haven't got any kids yet, I presume. You're a bit young for that. Those kind of things. Your friends, your community, if you're part of a faith group of some kind, that kind of thing. You never should let that go. Money alone is not a proper goal in life. It's wrong.
Thank you. Yeah, because I felt like it's very hard. Like for me, I find it very hard to balance. I feel like if I'm enjoying my life or all that, I feel like I'm missing out on growing, and all that. So I just wanted to know if you have ever gone through that during your lifetime.
The decision is not so much work versus non-work, but worthwhile versus non-worthwhile. And if you're doing something that's work, but that is dishonest, shady, useless, whatever, it's not worthwhile. If you're doing something like you're being with friends and you're spending time with people that you care about, your family, those kind of things, it's worthwhile. And you've got time to do the worthwhile stuff. If you're spending your time on things like social media, for example, which is basically garbage for the most part.
Except for the Jim's group.
Apart from Jim's group, instructive videos, which is incredibly useful and valuable. But if you're going on Instagram to put pictures of yourself to get lots of likes, that kind of engagement with social media is rubbish, it's bad, it's unnecessary. You don't want to avoid that. But spending time with a good friend, somebody brings you up, they've got a problem, you spend time talking, that's worthwhile. That's something that you should do. You should never let the unimportant things crowd out the things that really matter. And one of the great things about having a business, and we're going to show you this, and one of the things I'll talk about tomorrow afternoon, the final session, is talking about hourly rates. You want to be able to get enough of a good hourly rate that you can actually make a good living without losing focus on the things that matter. If you're working for $30 an hour, that's very difficult to do. If you're getting $70 an hour, you can work very reasonable hours, and you can still, you make a good living, and you've still got time for the stuff about it. Down the track a bit, I hope are you married?
Not yet.
Not yet, but soon, okay. When you do, you've got to have time to focus on your family, on your kids. Always have time for them. Nothing is more important than that. No matter how much money you've got, money is a good servant, but it's a terrible master.
Thank you.
There you go, very good
God
question.
bless you.
Cool. Anyone got another question for Jim? Yep, just come up, go for it. Probably make this the last one, or maybe we've got time for one more, depending on how long it is. Yep.
Hi, Joe and Jim. I'm Paul from Jim's Mowing in Brisbane, West. So my question is, you have many divisions, but like each division is like working with their own, like not working as together. So like if I mow the lawn for my customer have the need for cleaning, for lawn drying, or maybe change the tire, I refer that to another Jim's division. I suppose there's no referral fee. But how about if, like, I suggest maybe in the future, you can maybe have some incentive, like if the referral is successful, maybe you can just repay of the franchisee fee of that referral, and maybe just get one of the lead fee exempt, or maybe just repay of the price charge.
You know how it actually works in practice? First of all, we've got a lot of leads. We don't usually need to buy leads off people, because most of the time, you're in mowing, did you say?
Yeah.
You're mostly going to be having all the work you need. So it's not us paying for more leads isn't going to be very helpful, and not much of an incentive. But you know what will work? What you should do is you build a relationship with franchisees from other divisions. For example, in the beginning, if you're going to do pay for work guarantee, one of the best people you can do pay for work guarantee for is divisions, other divisions. I will send you a list of all in your area, which you mark on the map. I'll send you a list of all the franchisees from other divisions in your service area, and you can contact them and offer them a free lawn mow, okay, which they understand about, and it's fine. Then you go out and do jobs for them, and then somebody gets and they do the same thing for cleaning, and they offer you cleaning, and you get cleaning for them. And what you do is you build up a relationship. So rather than you going to a job and trying to get paid a bit of cash for a cleaning referral, which honestly is not going to be that much, even if you got the lead fee, what you can do is you can ring up your mate Sarah, who's come and done your house as a freebie, and say, Sarah, got a job for you. Wonderful client, dear old lady, she'd like it, she's introduced, give her a call, she's expecting your call. And then Sarah is doing a job and she chats to somebody else, and the client says, oh look, I really like this hedge style or something like that. Oh, my good mate, okay. And then you refer work back and forth, and you help each other to have a better business. That's how it's done. And that happens all the time. But money, not so much. Relationship is what matters. You can even go to other divisions, their meetings if you wish. Just arrange it. I can arrange it for you if you like. Go and see them. You often you see a meeting, like especially mowing, and your other divisions will be there. They'll just be part of it. They'll build a relationship.
Some franchisees will actually organise everything for the customer and put their clip on top. So the customer needs a skip bin or trees. I know a few franchisees who do this. They'll manage the whole thing for the customer and put their 10 or 20% on top of the invoice as well. So it depends how you want to do the business as well. Yeah. Some people do that. It's quite common as well in some of the divisions.
Yeah. But one of the things that's a bit odd to understand is for most franchisees, they've got all the work they can handle. Not right in the beginning. But even when I get I'm going to send you a letter in 1 month and ask you how you're going about pay for work guarantee. Most of the franchisees that contact me back are actually fairly busy, even after 1 month. Now, there's a minority that aren't, and we certainly want to help them. But you're going to be almost certainly with the mowing division, you're going to be fairly busy, fairly quickly, if not immediately. Yeah. So you're not going to be paying for a lot of leads, because you're going to have a lot that you'll pick up just through the office and stuff. We have 280,000, how many?
245,000 was last year.
245,000 unserviced leads last year. Oh. So there's an awful lot of leads around, work around. Now, I'll tell you what you will get a referral from. You find me another franchisee. That's what I really need. And then we'll give you a very nice referral fee. So you've got a friend who's interested, you say, you pass their details to us, goes to the person, that person becomes a franchisee.
Or you could do a split with someone.
Or you could do a split with your own business, so you sell a part of your customer, so you pocket the money, so you might get $20,000 in your pocket, which will pay you next 3 years franchise fees, that's really valuable because desperately we really need more franchisees to cope with this 245,000 unserviced leads a year.
Yes.
That's a terrific thing to do. And not only that, but after you do that, most likely your friend will say, you did me the biggest favour in the world by introducing me to this franchise. I'm making so much money now and I've got a better home life and my life is so much better. That's just normally what people do say. Not always, but usually. They're very happy and they'll thank you forever. Just like the lady, Duan, who actually introduced me to my wife 23 years ago. I mean, I love this lady forever. I have an eternal debt because of what she did, introduced me. Had to persuade, leave 3 days to try and persuade her to get to see me the first time, and we were engaged less than 2 weeks later, and then married after about 7 weeks, okay? But you give somebody a good deed, you refer them in some way, that's a great blessing, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. And make sure you reply to the 30-day email, because I know you send them out and some people don't reply.
You're going to reply to me? You're going to write back to me?
Yeah.
I'll be very hurt if you don't. I'll be...
No, actually.
If you don't like me, I mean,
it's a good
I'm just
answer.
going to feel very disappointed. I want you to all write back to me. You're all going to do that, aren't you? Yes. Every one of you. Yes. I want to hear from you, and you'll see how quickly I respond. And I'll congratulate you, the great majority of you, on your great surveys. I always do that, and I'll rejoice in your success. If you've done really well, I'll probably introduce you to this guy and say, let's do a story about why you're doing so well. That doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. And if you've got problems, I really will get involved in helping you, and I'll refer you, and I might send you some email links, some YouTube links and other things like that, and talk to your franchisor, possibly talk to somebody in marketing. We'll just do what we can for you.
Very good question. Awesome, thank you for that one.
Thank you.
So we'll leave it on that. So thanks for your questions tonight, guys. So what we're going to do, Jim, is pick your 3 favourite ones, and anyone who asks the question, come and see me, and you get a prize as well. And if we run out of stuff, I'll give you something too. And also big thanks to Steph, who's watching online. So Steph's doing the hosting of the training as well. She's doing a good job with the big group.
We had some great questions. I like the question about the criminal behaviour.
Yeah, that's the one I had down as well. Where's that lady?
That is very different.
Come up and pick whatever you like. Come up and pick whatever you like.
Before, so
Come up now and grab whatever you like.
Grab whatever you like. You got first prize.
Yep. Now what else there, Jim? What else?
Come and choose whatever you like. This is a good prize if you want it, or anything else.
Monopoly for sure.
Okay. Now I like.
There's a go to jail thing on there as well. So.
I like the question about technology. Who asked that one about technology? Somebody did.
The cleaning gentleman, was it? Where was it about the AI and stuff? Where is he? Is he gone?
He's gone. All right.
He's not here. Pass it on.
Epigenetics. Who asked the question?
The first one.
The first question.
First gentleman. Very smart to answer that. Ask that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well done.
All right. What's the other one? Grab anything you like.
I like the one about the goals. Who asked about goals? My goals. Who was that?
Jim's goals for the 5 to 10 years one. Was that?
Yeah. Who asked about my goals?
I think he's gone as well. I think it was the same guy. You can take more than light if you want. You sure you don't want anything else in there? You can take a picture. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Go for it.
And new divisions. We had questions about new divisions and becoming a franchisor. Who's
we had 2 people ask that, but you get a prize anyway.
Both of them.
You get a prize anyway, so we'll get it at the end. Cool.
There you go. Come on.
All right. All good?
What?
Yeah, take whatever you like.
Take
whatever you like.
Yeah.
Cool. So guys, if you ask Jim a question, please come up and see me. We'll have some more stuff here. And also, if you want a photo of Jim now, yep, grab it. Go for it. Now's a really good time if you want to get a photo of Jim. There's some nice lights here on Wednesday. It's a massive rush, especially if this size group is going to be pretty crazy on Wednesday.
If you haven't got what we want, we'll give you a gift voucher.
Yeah. We'll organise that.
You'll just write
I'll organise it. All good.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, thanks for your attention tonight. And if you want to get a photo of Jim, hand me your phone over here and we'll do that as well for you. And good luck with the rest of your training experience. Thank you.